Let us start zero order reaction. Okay. So zero order reaction means what? So see, the zero order reaction is defined as the reaction whose rate is independent of the reactant concentration. Understand? Rate of this reaction does not depend upon the concentration of reactant. Okay, and the concentration of reactant remains constant throughout the course of reaction. It doesn't change. Understand? So that is called as zero order reaction. Let us see integrated rate law for zero order reaction. We have seen integrated rate law for first order reaction. Right? Now here it is integrated rate law for zero order reaction. Consider a reaction. See, A give us product. So here in this case A is reactant. Okay, and we know how to write the rate law. Okay, so rate is equal to concentration of reactant means dA upon dt is equal to K, order is 0. Okay, now you have studied indices in standard 6 or 7. Whenever order or index of any number or any letter is 0, that times value of that number is equal to 1. Okay, 5 raised to the power 0 is 1. So here also a raised to the power 0 will become 1. Okay, that means k multiplied by 1 is equal to k only. Understand? Value of this term will become 1 because its exponent is 0 and we have rule a raised to the power 0 is equal to 1. Okay, so therefore concentration of a raised to the power 0 is equal to 1. K multiplied by 1 will become 1. So this will be the rate law. Rate is equal to dA minus dA upon dt is equal to K. This term will become 1's, K 1's are K. Okay, up to here you understand. Now we we have to rearrange this rate law. Okay, so rearranging rearranging equation number 1. This is our equation 1. So how we have to rearrange this dt? We will send on that side. Okay, dt we will send on that side, and this negative sign also we will shift on that side. So rate will become dA, d concentration of A is equal to minus K into dt. Understand? Now we have to integrate this equation. Okay, integrate between the limits initial concentration and final concentration, and the limits are concentration of reactant is A0 at time T0 initial concentration. Okay, and when time is equal to T, concentration of reactant is AT. Okay, so let us integrate it. So D concentration of A, this equation. Okay, then initial concentration A0 and final concentration AT. Okay, then is equal to K is constant, so it will remain out of the integration. Then dt, time we have to integrate. Initial time is 0 and final time is t. Okay, then we have to solve this now. Okay, so it will become concentration of A. Initial is A0 and final is AT. Okay, which is equal to minus K T. Initial time is 0 and final time is T. Okay, so which can be written as AT minus its final concentration minus initial concentration is equal to minus KT. Okay, now here only I am solving. See, AT minus A0 is equal to minus here. AT minus A0 is equal to minus KT. Okay, now this negative sign we will shift on that side. So this KT will become positive. Okay, negative sign we have shifted on this side, means this positive will become AT is positive, it will become negative, okay, and this negative term will become positive. So minus AT plus A0 is equal to KT, okay. Now let us rearrange this first, okay. So this A0 I will write first, then this minus AT, understand, is equal to KT, okay. Now this T I will send on that side. So A0 minus AT divided by T is equal to K, understand. So this is rate constant, okay. Now we have to write the units for rate constant. Rate constant is K, and for this K we have to write the unit of rate constant for zero order reactions. Same thing we have done in case of first order reaction also. So here we have to find the unit for zero order reaction, okay. Now this term is concentration term, right? Initial concentration and final concentration. Concentration is always given in terms of mole per liter or mole per dm cube, right? Then divided by concentration of unit of concentration I have written over here. Now we have to write unit of time, okay. Unit of time I will just write T only, okay. It can be taken in seconds, minutes or hours. So this is the unit of rate constant for zero order reaction, this, okay. So which can be written as mole per liter or moles per dm cube per time or time inverse, in this way, okay. Instead of liter you can write mole per dm cube per time, which can be in second, which can be in minutes, which can be in hours, okay. So this is the unit of K, is unit of rate constant for zero order reaction, okay. This is for zero order reaction. So in this way here we have completed zero order reaction. Let us see some examples of zero order reaction. So see examples of zero order reaction. Decomposition of NH3 on platinum metal, understand. So here you can see two molecules of NH3, ammonia gas, okay, which will give you one molecule of nitrogen gas plus 3 molecule of hydrogen gas, understand. This reaction is zero order reaction. The rate of this reaction does not depend upon the reactant concentration, okay. That means rate of this reaction does not depend upon the concentration of ammonia. Concentration of ammonia remains same throughout the course of reaction, and that's why it is called as zero order reaction, okay. One more example is there. Second example they have given, decomposition of nitrous oxide N2O in the presence of platinum catalyst, okay. So here you can see two molecules of nitrous oxide in presence of platinum catalyst will give you two molecules of nitrogen gas plus one molecule of oxygen gas, okay. So this is also zero order reaction. Then third example also they have given, the catalytic decomposition of PH3 on hot tungsten, understand, at high pressure. So these three examples are of zero order reaction, okay. Now let us see half life of zero order reaction. So let us see half life of zero order reaction, okay. So rate constant of zero order reaction is given by, we just have seen integrated rate equation or rate law, which was K is equal to A0 minus AT divided by T, okay. So by using this equation we will find the half life of zero order reaction. What are the conditions to find zero order means half life of zero order reaction? So using the conditions, so what are the conditions? Time we have to take as T half, okay. Time is T half, and concentration of reactant means final concentration we have to take as half of the concentration, means A half, okay. Now putting this values, T is equal to T half and AT is equal to A half in this equation. So this equation will become K is equal to A0 will remain as it is. Okay, here A0 will remain as it is, minus, in place of AT we have to write A half. Okay, and in place of T, here we have to write T half. Okay, now let us send this term T half on that side. So K multiplied by T half is equal to initial concentration minus half of the concentration. Okay, so A half can be written as A0 means initial concentration by 2. Okay, A0 by 2. So let us solve this. K multiplied by T half is equal to, here denominator they have not given, right? So we will equalize the denominator first. Okay, so here on this side let us do cross multiplication. 2 multiplied by A0 will become 2A0, minus, here denominator is not there, 1 is there, so their multiplication is A0, and denominator to denominator, 2 ones are 2. You have studied these things in mathematics. Okay, now 2A0 minus 1A0 will become A0 upon 2. Okay, now this K we will send on in denominator, so it will become T half is equal to A0 2 multiplied by this K, and this is the formula to find out half-life of zero order reaction. T half is equal to A0 upon 2K, where K is rate constant. Understand? So by using this equation we can find out half-life of zero order reaction. Okay, now see next, pseudo first order reaction. Pseudo means what? False. Okay, so they are not actually first order reaction, but they behave as first order reaction. Understand? Their actual order is higher. Okay, but they behave as first order reaction. That's why they are called as pseudo first order reaction. So see here, such reactions that have, just a minute, such reactions that have higher order true rate law, okay, but are found to behave as first order are called as pseudo first order reaction. Let us see one example of hydrolysis of methyl acetate. See the reaction, hydrolysis of methyl acetate. Okay, so this is methyl acetate, CH3 COO CH3. Understand? Aqueous means aqueous solution of methyl acetate plus water in liquid state. Okay, now hydrolysis means what? Breaking of bond in presence of water. So from this methyl acetate we have got two compounds over here, CH3COOH. Okay, this is acid. Okay, and CH3OH means what? Alcohol, methanol. Okay, so this is the reaction of hydrolysis of methyl acetate. Now let us write rate law for this reaction. Okay, so rate is equal to K dash. Okay, reactants, concentration of reactant we have to write. The first reactant is CH3COOCH3 methyl acetate. Second reactant is water. Understand? So this is the rate law for the hydrolysis of methyl acetate. Okay, now this reaction is expected to follow the second order kinetics, because here exponent is not given, means 1 is there, here also 1 is there. Okay, and 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. That means it is actually second order reaction. It is expected that the reaction follows second order kinetics, but actually it obeys first order kinetics. Why it obeys first order reaction, that we have to see. The reason here is the solvent which is used is water. Okay, and water is used in very large excess, in large amount. Okay, so the change in concentration of water is negligible as compared to the initial concentration. Okay, or we can say concentration of water in this reaction remains constant. We have taken excess water. Understand? So its concentration remains constant, or change or decrease in concentration is negligible. Okay, so the concentration of water does not appear in rate law actually. Understand? So rate law of the reaction is given as rate is equal to K dash. Okay, K dash, then concentration of CH3 COOCH3, and here concentration of water also remains constant. Okay, so for the concentration of water we have taken K double dash because it also remains constant. Understand? So this is the rate law for this hydrolysis of methyl acetate. Okay, which can be written as, now see, instead of this K dash and K double dash we will write K. Okay, so K is equal to K dash into K double dash. Okay, so this rate law can be written as rate is equal to, instead of this K and K double dash we will write K only, K concentration of COOCH3. Understand? So here you can see the concentration of this hydrolysis of methyl acetate depends upon the concentration of one reactant only, that is methyl acetate, and it does not depend upon the concentration of water as it is taken in large extent. Okay, and therefore the concentration of water also remains constant throughout the reaction, and that's why for the concentration of water we have taken another constant, that is K double dash. Okay, so K dash, K double dash we have taken as K only, and rate of this reaction is given as rate is equal to K concentration of methyl acetate. Okay, now here you can see it is believed or it is found that it follows second order kinetics, 1 plus 1 2, order of the reaction you can see here 2, but it behaves as first order reaction. Understood? And that's why the reaction is called as pseudo first order reaction. Understand? It is called as pseudo first order reaction. Okay, so it was about pseudo first order reaction. One question they have given in your textbook, let us see that. You can say this yellow box, the reaction C12H22O11 aqueous plus water is taken excess, and the product is C6H12O6 plus C6H12O6. Okay, here it is hydrolysis reaction. Okay, this reaction is also hydrolysis reaction, bond breaking in presence of water, and in this reaction also water is taken in excess. Okay, so here also we can neglect the concentration of water in rate law. Okay, so this reaction also depends upon the concentration of only one reactant, that is C12H22O11. It does not depend upon the concentration of water, and this is also pseudo first order type reaction. Understood? So most of the hydrolysis reaction where water is taken in excess amount are pseudo first order reactions. Okay, so here we have completed chemical kinetics.